Tonight, investigative reporter Elsa Gillis joins us with a startling investigation into how the district is spending taxpayer dollars.
In 2011, it was brought to the school board and officials' attention during a school board meeting, I have the minutes in my hand, that the central office cafeteria, where Caddo school officials work, lost over $47,000 a year, and there was discussion it would be closed down. After requesting several documents from school officials, we were pleased to see that there were no lunchroom workers coded to central office, so we assumed their cafeteria had been closed. But when we went to see for ourselves, we found that it was still up and running.
The central office cafeteria is a courtesy to the employees of the central office.
Deborah Harris is the director of the Child Nutrition Program at Caddo Schools. She says the central office cafeteria workers are paid with the district's general fund, not by the federal Child Nutrition Program, like all other school cafeterias, because it's a cafeteria where students aren't present.
No funding is placed in an area where no children are fed.
But the hot food provided in the central office cafeteria is from the Child Nutrition Program. It's the same food the students get. KTBS obtained emails from a Louisiana Department of Education representative back in 2011. When asked about the legal funding of the non-student-based cafeteria, she said, "There is no policy that allows for school food service funds to be used to set up a cafeteria for adult employees of a school board. The purpose of the USDA Child Nutrition Programs is to provide nutritious and healthy meals for children." So the central office cafeteria uses child nutrition food for adults and pays its cafeteria employees at least $46,000 a year out of the local budget. In a district that has cut teacher positions, can you think of better uses for this money? And as far as concerns that the cafeteria is losing money,
I think they said it was losing money because the funds for the salaries.
okay.
I mean,
Right.
there's no way that we can make enough money in the cafeteria to pay staffing for the cafeteria. There's not enough revenue coming that's going back and forth. Like I said, it is a courtesy.
I think it would be concerning perhaps to taxpayers that if you can't afford to pay for the staff that you've employed, why isn't that money being spent, on part of a teacher's salary or something like that? Do you have any response to that?
Well, you also need to look at the employees here are being served or made available to them the food that every other employee of Caddo Parish has available to them.
Yes, teachers, for example, often use school cafeterias where they pay for their lunches, but they don't have the luxury of leaving campus for lunch.
Also, if the employee that's in the cafeteria weren't working there, they'd be working somewhere else in the system. So it would still be monies that would be coming out of general funds.
So even if the lunchroom closed down, they'd have to find work for this woman? According to union and school board experts we spoke with, the position and its salary can absolutely be eliminated by a reduction in force if there's no work to support the job. The idea that this employee cannot be eliminated is an expression of the culture of lifelong tenure at central office. We went to go check out the cafeteria ourselves. As you can see, it's certainly open and clearly not that busy. Well, at least they're paying, right?
All employees, and that's Caddo Parish School Board employees, must pay the at-cost price for the meal.
But that wasn't what we observed. We saw 11 different adults pick up 11 different items. One lunch for Caddo employees should cost $4.15, according to the district's website. Yet, when we were there, the entire take for the day was $4.15 total. Unfortunately, it appears this is not the only cafeteria serving solely adults. The recent audit showed that 57 lunch ladies worked at the Caddo Career and Technology Center cafeteria. That's a lot. We asked district officials about it and were told it was a technical glitch. Now, after correctly coding people, there are 8 permanent employees who are working from the Child Nutrition Program working at CCTC.
That is funded through federal funds. It is a site in which we prepare meals. We serve lunch there. It's for children. It's for the students of Caddo Career that come through Caddo Career and for the staff at the school.
But according to an assistant principal at CCTC, a person who is physically on the campus daily, not a single child eats lunch there. They said all students go back to their home schools to eat. It's open for the 45 staff members. However, the CCTC cafeteria does also prepare food for a few other small cafeterias in the district, including that central office lunchroom. So we leave you with this question. Do you think the district is spending taxpayer money properly and giving our students everything they deserve?
In addition to the salaries of those employees behind the counter at Central Office, in 2011, there were also over $9,000 in other operating expenses. For some of the other discrepancies about whether or not students eat at CCTC and more, we sent a public records request last week, but the school officials replied that they do not have an employee to handle records requests, and they won't be able to respond within the 5 business days as required by Louisiana law. Back to you. After seeing our investigation, the public wants answers. Here are some comments we got after our investigation. My tax dollars at work yet again makes me want to throw up. Why am I cutting out box tops and doing fundraisers when they waste all this money? This is why we are wanting to move so bad. And something needs to be done about it. We spoke with Superintendent Dr. Lamar Goree and reached out to every single elected member of the school board looking for answers.
The people at central office, they're not spending a lot of time on academics. They're wasting time and they're wasting our money, taxpayers' money.
Curtis Hooks was one of 2 school board members willing to speak with us on camera about our investigation. Do you think the board is going to do anything about this?
If we get a new board, yes. If we keep the same board, no. You got some board members on there that we need to keep, and you got some board members on there that needs to go.
Charlotte Crawley also spoke with us, and she was vocal about the cafeteria back in 2011.
When you look at a budget, you can tell where your priorities are. And if they cut $6.3 million from the classrooms, from the school site, and they didn't get rid of a little $50,000 underutilized, perhaps even fraudulent cafeteria, then that tells you where the focus was or was not.
Although no one else would go on camera, we did speak with several other board members over the phone. Jasmine Green made it clear that something needs to be done and it will be addressed. Mary Trammell says she's seeking more information from the district about the legality of the cafeteria. But Carl Pearson Sr., Dottie Bell, and Ginger Armstrong all say they're not opposed to keeping the cafeteria running. In fact, Dottie Bell said KTBS was given misinformation. But when I asked what misinformation, she didn't tell me. Many of the board members' defense for keeping it open is because central office employees only have 30 minutes for lunch.
We are really supposed to be focusing on the children. If everything was hunky-dory, maybe, if we had all the money in the world, but no, with failing schools, tight budgets, increasing teacher-pupil ratio, oh no, we can't afford that.
Superintendent Dr. Lamar Goree says since our report aired, the state of Louisiana is now auditing the situation, and the district is also investigating the use of the cafeteria and whether or not people are paying.
One thing I will assure you is that it won't operate as it has operated every day.
Dr. Goree says because employees are given a half-hour lunch break, it's always been provided as a service. He assured us, however, that just because things have been done one way for a while doesn't mean it will continue that way.
Is this cafeteria outdated? Have we outlived this service? Or is this something that may be worth taking a loss because it creates such a more productive environment for the whole district?
He says before any decisions are made, there's a lot to consider.
$50,000 is a lot of money to lose, okay? That's a teacher's salary. So we're going to have to either look at how can we more efficiently operate this cafeteria so that it's not such a loss, because what you do is even when you're doing something for efficiency, you have to find a way to quantify that efficiency so that you know what is this worth me losing. Those are some conversations and some decisions that I don't find record of happening in our school district. So those are some things that we're going to have to do if this cafeteria is going to continue to operate. But I will assure you, we won't continue to lose a figure as high as $50,000 for a benefit.
Dr. Gorey says we can expect a decision to be made about the central office cafeteria by January 1st. And you can be sure we'll be following up and reporting on it. Back to you.